Okay, hi there, it's Jeff here. Welcome to a video for Business Economics, looking at the economics of market power and Nike as an example. So what do we mean by market power? Well, my definition would be that market power is the ability of a business to set their prices above a level that would exist normally in a more competitive market. So what market power allows firms to do is to set higher prices, and therefore to make supernormal profits or monopoly profit. And of course, they can then maintain them, allow them to persist in the long run by using barriers to entry to help prevent the profitable entry of new potential rival challenger firms. So market power is basically the ability to set prices and to maintain high profits. Sometimes firms have dominant positions in a market. A dominant firm is considered to have a market share of around 40% or more. But of course, this depends on the definition of the market, as we'll see in a few minutes. Here's a quick teaser for you. This chart shows the annual revenue in billions of euros of three sports clothing businesses. This is just for the UK alone. So can you name the three businesses? Market power. Can you name the three businesses? And also in the right order. Well, here we go. The answer is that Nike is at the top, followed by Adidas, followed by Puma. So those are the three dominant firms in the sports clothing sector. It might be worth pressing the pause button on your video and jotting down, if you want, give yourself a minute, think of two factors that give a business such as Nike genuine market power in that industry. So what do we think? What factors give businesses market power? Well, I think the key one really is brand recognition, brand loyalty. So what do we mean by that? Well, I would define that as the emotional connection and the perceived quality associated with the brand. And both of those contribute to brand loyalty. Now, crucially, when you have strong brand connection and loyalty, that brings down the price elasticity of demand for the product, as well as the cross price elasticity of demand. So brand loyalty reduces the coefficient of elasticity of demand. Of course, that allows firms to charge higher prices going forward. The cross price elasticity goes down because consumers regard or perceive there to be fewer close substitutes in the market. You have a strong habitual demand for a particular brand. And that may well be the case for you, it is for me. A really other key part of market power is supply chain efficiency. So often firms become vertically integrated. They can control the product from source of inputs to final consumer. Or they might engage, as Nike does, in outsourcing manufacturing to contractors in many different countries. Nike actually doesn't make many shoes. It outsources well over 90% of their production to contractors, be they in Thailand or Vietnam or Indonesia, China, and so on and so forth. And outsourcing helps Nike focus on design and marketing, where, by the way, the profit margins are higher, whilst also benefiting from cost-effective production. In other words, economies of scale. And I've put the LREAC to remind you and to remind me that economies of scale bring down the unit cost of production in the long run and make a business more price and cost competitive. So Nike, we would say, pardon me, is an incumbent firm, an established firm. And they have significant advantages which give them market power. It's the world's largest supplier and maker of athletic shoes, obviously a massive supplier of clothing and sports equipment too. So we've talked about brand strength. That will be linked, I guess, to athlete endorsements, although Nike haven't yet asked me to endorse any of their products. Economies of scale, we've mentioned, that brings down the unit cost of production and gives you a cost advantage against potentially smaller challenger businesses. Nike might also use legal barriers to entry, such as patents, trademarks, and copyright, to protect their brand identity. Many of these firms have omni-channel retail, so if you need a pair of Nike shoes, you can go direct to Nike, you can go to one of their stores around the world, although the number of stores is now falling. as they pivot online. And you can buy Nike shoes obviously through third-party retailers as well. So lots of businesses who have market power have developed substantial and ubiquitous omni-channel retail options. And critically, many of these businesses are highly profitable, and therefore they have money to reinvest in research and development and innovation to keep them at the cutting edge. Might be worth taking a screenshot of this slide. These are some of the big advantages of dominant firms, Nike being an example. And as a result, they have this position. Nike, according to the latest data for 2023, is the most valuable clothing brand in the world, followed by Shine, Zara, Lululemon, Unique, Adidas, etc., and so on and so forth. So it's well ahead. And in fact, one of the signs of that is Nike's remarkably constant and high gross profit margin. Now, this chart, look at that, 44%, 43%, ups and downs, yes, but pretty constant. So gross profit margin is the difference in percentage terms between the selling price of a pair of shoes, for example, and the cost of manufacturing. Now, obviously, Nike will have other costs as well. So this is not the operating profit margin, it's just the gross profit margin. But it gives you a sign and a feel for the highly profitable nature of Nike's business. Well, we've talked about the sources of market power. Let's finish off by thinking about the limits on the market power of established firms. So what are the constraints? Again, you might want to press the pause button here and give yourself a minute or so. Can you think of what might hold back or constrain or limit the market power of established firms? I'll take you through some answers in a second or two. Well, one, I think crucially, is the degree to which the market is contestable. So if you get an exam question on market power, be aware that there's always the threat of new entrants, substitutes into a market, including from overseas. So it depends on the type of the industry. But for example, if you want to bring a bit of macroeconomics into this, trade liberalization agreements which reduce tariffs and quotas and other barriers, can help make markets more competitive. So it might be the case, for example, that Nike's dominance in the United States could be challenged or has been challenged by the likes of Under Armour, major US firm, perhaps to a lesser extent by the emergence of, in the clothing market, for example, by the emergence of businesses from the UK, such as Gymshark and Castori. So the threat of new entrants is a limit on market power. Now, Nike actually is quite interesting as a little example here. Around 40% of their sales, 40% of their revenue comes from the United States. It's come down a little bit since 2016, as you can see, but the United States is not easily Nike's biggest market, and that share hasn't fundamentally changed. Obviously, they're a global company, a multinational business, but 40% of their revenue comes from the USA. The second limit on market power can be government intervention. Have you covered this? So they might, in some markets, monopolies may be subject to price caps, or there could be rigorous active use of competition policy, such as blocking mergers and takeovers. Sainsbury's and Asda, of course, was a merger proposed integration in the UK supermarket sector, which was blocked by the Competition and Markets Authority. There have been several blocked mergers in the sports retail sector, including, I think, business Foot Asylum, wasn't it? And the Competition and Markets Authority in the UK may investigate collusive behaviour. So there are interventions in a regulatory sense on the power of firms. And crucially, also think about the other side of the market. So although such as Nike and what have you, other firms have supply side monopoly power, there can often be on the other side of the market monopsony power. So it could be the case that the firm has selling power, but it faces a big buyer. So there's a kind of bilateral monopoly situation. And also, what are people willing to pay? There are limits to what people's real effective demand is, as we've seen in recent years. We've seen, have we not, the recession. We've seen the cost of living crisis. So therefore, many consumers now becoming more price sensitive or price savvy. Evidence, for example, in the rise of outlet shopping. People have limits to what they are able to spend on their products, even if they have strong brand loyalty. So the threat of new entrants, the impact of government intervention, and the bargaining power of buyers and the limits to people's spending are barriers, they're limits to the market power of established firms. There we go. I hope you found this useful. We used Nike as a little case study there, but be aware of what market power is, where it comes from, but also the limits of market power in an industry. And good luck if this comes up in your exam. Take care. See you soon.